Hello everyone. Welcome. It is Friday, August 6th, 2021, and I am still located in Minneapolis, Minnesota, doing ministry here tomorrow night at the Minneapolis Marriott West. And yesterday had a outstanding day. It was a beautiful day outside, a little bit on the more humid side, but had lunch at a place called Turtle Bread Company that I'd never heard of before, that a friend had recommended, and it is just a outstanding place if you're looking for a place to eat that has soups and salads and sandwiches, and they had great tomato basil soup I had, and quiche as well. Had some broccoli and cheese quiche, and then key lime pie. Oh my gosh, so good. Then I was able to drive to where George Floyd was killed, and it was interesting just driving to that area. It's like, I think it's 38th and Chicago Avenue, and I could just feel in the atmosphere, the anger, the confusion around that area. And so I did some praying for forgiveness, praying for healing, restoration, and so the Lord oftentimes has me go to different places that are around the country where there were tragedies and so forth, and to pray, to release the Lord's love and the Lord's joy. So anyway, enjoying my time here this week in Minneapolis, and looking forward to tomorrow night at 7 p.m. coming to the Minneapolis Marriott West. I believe it's called St. Louis Park, but that's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And then in 2 more weeks, August 21st, I'll be in Chicago at the Chicago Marriott in Naperville. Lots of people show up there. We've had 2 breakthrough events there last year, and they were our 2 biggest ones from all the Marriott events we did. Remember last year I did 70 events in 50 cities in 30 states. It was the busiest I'd ever been, and this year is continuing to be very busy and fulfilling, and seeing lots of results with people. And I'm doing a lot more personal sessions. I'm doing, average of probably 3 to 4 a week of private sessions with people, helping them individually to forgive people who have hurt them. So, hello to Lola Casanova from Houston, Texas. I'll be coming to Houston October 31st. In fact, that's my schedule I'll read off here. September 25th, Greenville, South Carolina, Faith Family Church. October, looking to come to Holiday, Florida, Newport Richey, Florida. October 31st at Cool Church, COOL, in Houston, Texas. November 5th and 6th, coming to Waco, Texas. First time I've been to Waco, at Walking in Freedom. And we'll continue to add more as we go. But I love doing these personal sessions, because every time I learn more and validate more of what we do in the ministry, and helping people see all the bad things that happen to them through the eyes of Christ, so they can truly forgive. And when they can truly forgive, they truly get healed, they get set free, they get delivered, they feel different, they feel happier, they feel joyful. They can remember the things that happened to them without the tears, without the anger, without the bitterness. And then that takes away the legal rights for their demons, and they can command them to go. And again, most people in church, most all of them, struggle with hearing demonic thoughts, and then having problems with their physical attributes. Again, I've been healed and delivered since I guess it was around September of 2008, and I have been healed physically from everything. I don't have any stuff, I may get symptoms and stuff that come on me, but the Lord heals me, because I don't have the anger and the bitterness for anybody. And there can be witchcraft trying to come against, but that even cannot penetrate when you've truly forgiven people who have hurt you. So today's topic is, how afraid are you to be honest? For many people, it's very hard to be honest. You can understand, if you're the typical Christian that attends church, You could be prophesying and praying in tongues, but if you don't have the fruit of the Spirit in your life, if you don't have a good heart and your intentions of your heart are not good, that means you're being impacted by hearing demonic thoughts. And that goes back to your wounds. So if you still have unforgiveness, you still have anger, bitterness, if you still have tears, remembering the bad things that people had done or said about you, then you need to learn how to truly forgive. And that's oftentimes, most times it's required that you ask the Lord, show me from your perspective why that person did what they did, why a person from church betrayed you, why your spouse betrayed you, why other people. I mean, wounded, hurting people will hurt people. They're hearing demonic spirits. They will manifest on you. They will lie about you. They will not treat you the way that they should. And so when they do these behaviors that are not good, that are not godly, that cause them to trigger on you and get angry, get jealous, and so forth, then what will happen is they will betray you. They will stab you in the back. They will come against you. And so what do they have to do? They have to cover up that behavior. They have to try to act like it didn't happen, and that's why it's interesting when you are in the opportunity where, and I've been in this opportunity myself, if you're in a counseling atmosphere and you're trying to share the truth about what the person that, say they verbally went off on you for hours and so forth, well, that person wants to take all the time to talk so that the real truth of their behavior cannot be exposed. And if they can hide their real behavior to other people, then those demonic spirits will continue to live within them. They won't get freed, they won't get healed, they won't change. That's why counseling, in large part, doesn't work as effectively, of course, as inner healing and deliverance. You do inner healing and deliverance, you get delivered from those demonic spirits, you're a different person, you're changed, your personality changes. You can counsel a person until the cows come home. That's a saying that we have, I guess, in being a farmer, growing up on a farm. But you can counsel forever, and people won't change if they still hear the same voices in their head that tells them that they're right, that they are justified for their anger, their bitterness. So, when a person believes or behaves as, say, angry and jealous and sexually impure, they are embarrassed by it, and it's easier to blame their reactions and behavior on other people instead of being honest. Much of that goes back to their childhood, of course. When they were first hurt, they were wounded, and then they had the demonic spirits speaking to their minds. What will happen is oftentimes when they were hurt by their fathers or their mothers is they realize that if they didn't do exactly what their father, mother, stepfather, stepmother wanted them to do, they would get in trouble for it. They would get punished, oftentimes out of anger. So what that taught them is it's better to lie and say that they didn't do something that they did to avoid the pain of being punished or spanked or hit harshly, whatever. So those demonic spirits convince them, it's better to lie and try and get away with it instead of being honest. Why would you want to be honest? So if a person lives that way for many, many years, then guess what? That allows those demonic spirits to torment them, and they will continue to manifest and behave in ways that is not good. So their goal is to escape being punished harshly. Pride oftentimes can also be a part of lying, why they will not be honest, because pride tells them justifiably in their minds that whatever they say or do is right. What anyone says or does that comes against them, well, they are the enemy. You see this on social media a lot, where people that struggle with more demonic spirits, they will manifest a lot on social media. They will accuse people of things. They will not own their own bad behavior. They would rather lie and get people to sympathize with them, poor, pitiful me, instead of being honest. Isn't it interesting, the sirens that I'm hearing? There's an ambulance going right by here. Remember when I was at that one lake? It used to be called Lake Calhoun, called now Buddy Maki Saka or something. I said the only thing that can interrupt the broadcast are sirens. And then we had 2 sirens. So how interesting is this? All right, so unfortunately the only way a person can get healed and delivered is to be honest with their behavior. And I see this a lot when I'm doing a session for a person. When they're honest and they share the truth of what they struggle with. Hello to Tina Kirkpatrick on Facebook and Mindy Bush on YouTube. Welcome to the show. And it's interesting when people are not healed, not delivered, then their behavior is not good. It can't be. If they're hearing thousands of negative thoughts a day, they're going to behave in ways that aren't good. They're going to take an offense, going to get angry, they're going to get triggered. They're going to behave in ways that are not normal. In fact, I was going to talk about the subject of what it really means to be normal. I can actually incorporate that into today's topic, because a lot of people, their normal growing up was anything but normal, the way that it should be. A normal family is truly a family that loves you unconditionally. They're not yelling, they're not screaming, they're not trying to not talk to you. They have all kinds of healthy communication methods. If there's a disagreement, whatever, they sit down with you, they talk to you. There's not a tone, they don't raise their voice. They're calm and they're loving. They understand that, okay, we make mistakes, we're humans, but out of love, they want to correct or at least have a discussion. But the people that aren't healed, that aren't delivered, they're going to trigger on their own children. So the normal that a lot of children have is anything but normal. It's chaos, chaotic, yelling, screaming, oftentimes going through divorces, separations, and that is their normal. And if a person's normal is anything but normal, then when they end up getting married and they have a strife or a disagreement, then oftentimes it is not resolved in the way that is the healthiest. But we all have different normals. And when we're healed, we're set free, we're delivered, we're going to be a lot more like Christ, a lot more calm and patient with people, and you can talk through things. So unfortunately, the only way a person can get healed and delivered is to be honest with their behavior. Jesus is always waiting for us to be honest so that we can repent for our own pride, our own sin, and get healed. Demons want to convince us that we behave good, that our behavior is good when it's not. And anything that anyone does that doesn't agree with us is negative, and it's then blamed. Anything that we do that's negative is blamed then on our spouse or others. So it cannot, they oftentimes feel justified in what their behavior is, the way that they talk to a person, the way that they treat them. So then the demons, if they can convince the person that, oh, no, my behavior is normal. Your behavior, you need to just listen and agree, get in line and agree with everything that I say and do. When it's not normal, not healthy, then that allows the demons to continue to stay and torment the person. And they can torment then their spouse, they can torment their children, and others that don't do what they demand. When people are healed from their wounds and delivered from their demons, they don't desire to pursue the sinful lifestyle of the flesh. They don't trigger, like Galatians 5:16-26, they don't trigger all the time. They don't go off on their spouse, they don't want their way, they don't demand their way, they're okay. If you want to do this, sure, fine, let's do it. That's okay. Maybe tomorrow, I can make the decision on whatever, where we go out to eat, what we do. There's a lot of people that they got to have their own way all the time. They go on vacations and they demand their own way. They ruin it for their spouse or their children. Or they want to stay in the hotel room all the time. Or they want to eat where they want to eat. It's part of the fun of getting together with a healthy family, normal family, that's okay to be honest with their spouse and children and so forth, is that each person could make a decision. Hey, if you want, you decide today. Where are we going to go out to eat? Oh, great. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. And then the father and the mother treat each other the way they should. And they can be honest. They're not going to be afraid if they speak up and say, you know what, it makes me feel uncomfortable when you behave this way. And then the person can say, okay, I'm going to take a look at that and I'm going to pray about it. And Lord, show me. Heal my wounds from the past. Allow me to be delivered from that. And there's a lot of people, their normal is just completely out of whack. And it's scary. Think about the inner cities. The inner cities in America are like a war zone. I get to travel. I get to see a lot of this. And you can sense it in the spirit. And it's just a wonder that anyone can survive and come out of the inner city unscathed. It's really very hard to do that. There's so many people, I stay in hotels and I can sense it on people that have demonic spirits. And it's very hard not to see people that once you see and understand it, you cannot actually see it in their eyes. You can see the eyes are the windows to a person's soul. So when you are healed from those soul wounds and delivered from the demons, then you don't desire to pursue a sinful lifestyle of the flesh. You don't trigger on people. You don't go off. You don't, again, there's different ways that you can control people. You don't try to control anyone. You love on them. And then you're not behaving in ways that you have to protect and cover up. You're fine with saying, you know what, this is who I am, and you've got the fruit of the Spirit that's evident. So you don't have anything to lie about. There's a lot of people, you see it all the time in politics. You see it in people that, in the United States and everywhere else, where there's the people that do the very evil things, controlling people, sexually molesting children, adrenochrome, drinking the blood of children, just evil, perverse things. And if the truth is exposed of what they're doing, what do? They trigger, they go off, they get mad, they get angry, they threaten you. Some people they kill, they murder. And then they say that they committed suicide, and it's not the truth. So people that are doing evil, they want to keep it hidden. You get healed and delivered from your past wounds, you change. You're a peaceful person. You're a loving person. You can speak the truth and not be in fear. So, how afraid are you to be honest? There's a lot of people that they grew up, had to cover things up all the time. And then as they became adults, they get married, they have children, and then they have an alternate personality. They're not healed, so they get triggered. They go off on the person, and then they lie. They don't want to be honest about their behavior. I see this all the time in counseling sessions with couples. If one of them struggles more with Jezebel, and they always will, the other one's going to struggle more with Ahab. Those that have the Jezebel spirit have done some pretty evil and bad things to their spouse. They want to keep all that hidden when they're having a session. If the Ahab that has been, the person that's been abused, actually speaks the truth, then they know that they are going to have to go home with that person, and that person's going to probably go off on them. So they're out of fear, afraid to share the whole truth. And that's the challenge that people have. They don't, they want to get along, they want to keep the peace. But when you've got a person that's not healed and not delivered, they're going to behave in bad ways, and they're going to want to cover it up. So, again, inner healing and deliverance is the number one thing that will change the entire world, that will actually change the church to where the people in the church get healed and delivered, and they can actually love people the way that they're supposed to. They can treat them the way that they should. And if the pastors would just rise up and say, let's go through an inner healing and deliverance session today, to the congregation. My gosh, that would cut down on a lot of divorces that happen with those that attend church. It would cut down on a lot of emotional abuse. There's so many parents that have been hurt and wounded, they end up hurting their own children, and then the children leave home as soon as they can, And they oftentimes get befriended by people that are into gangs and things that they shouldn't be in. But they want to be loved. They want to be accepted. And they can't be loved and accepted by a parent that is religious, that has a religious mindset, that is not godly, that is like a Pharisee and a scribe. So, and that is the truth. So again, we're seeing people around the world that are, every day I get messages from people saying, thanks for what we talk about, and that it changed their life. And in many cases, it's saving marriages. It's not fun to be married to a person where you're striving and fighting and arguing all the time. It's not good at all. If you can't get along, you get sick to your stomach, you feel like you're walking on eggshells, and that is not cool. So anyway, the next event that I do have is coming up this Saturday at the Minneapolis Marriott West. And this is my third time that I've been here to do ministry since last year. And it's funny because yesterday I drove by the Sheraton. It's over by the mall on the west side, and I did not know that it was there. I was going looking for something that needed to be purchased, and so I was like, oh my gosh, that's where it started at. Right there at the Sheraton. When the Lord spoke to me, I was actually out walking in the parking lot, and the Lord kept telling me, I want you to go into the hotels. And I'm like, what? I go, that's like too expensive, and who's going to show up on 11 days notice? And the Lord said, do it, advertise on Facebook. So I did. We had about 33 people that showed up, and 90% did not know me. And they came because the Holy Spirit told them to. They saw the ads on social media. So the churches were being shut down, and the Lord said, go into the churches, or go into the hotels, and we did. And it was amazing watching all the lives set free. So come on out this Saturday and get set free. Change your life. It changed my life. I mean, it definitely was night and day difference for me. And I'll say this, so many people that have not been healed from their wounds, have not been delivered yet, will become very prideful, very arrogant, very angry, controlling, manipulative. That's the spirit of Jezebel. And they will take out all their anger, all their pain on their spouse. And basically it is abuse. They will abuse them emotionally over and over and over again. And then when that spouse finally says, enough, I'm not going to take it anymore, I'm tired of being abused. And if they go to sessions, counseling sessions and so forth, they'll twist the truth. They'll act like they're a victim. They're very good at playing the victim, but they're not being honest. If they could be honest, and oftentimes their view is completely skewed, their view of reality. And when they actually say what happened in a situation, it's not true. And then the person that's either more healed or has a spirit of Ahab will just throw their hands up and say, oh my gosh, do I need to record exactly what went down? Because you're not remembering it the right way. And that's oftentimes Jezebel, Leviathan, spirits at work. We see it. They don't see the truth, and they won't speak the truth. They don't want to be honest with what they have done. They'd rather accuse their spouse and blame them. Why? Because in the past they might have been punished by their father, by their mother, and they don't want to have that pain anymore, so they want to lie. And lying is easier than telling the truth. Isn't there a song? Was it? Truth is harder than a lie. Some female singer, I remember, sings that. And it is. But guess what? There's another song called Truth Be Told by Matthew West that I play. And the truth be told, Jesus, he knows. He knows what's going on. He knows when we've been hurt and wounded. And he's waiting for us to come to him to be honest, to say, Lord, I want helped. I want to be freed from this torment. And in most every case, got to forgive truly from your heart all those that have hurt us. Got to repent for our pride, repent for our sin, command the demons to go, and then you don't have all those negative thoughts anymore. You can walk in peace, walk in joy. So, alrighty, I will let you go, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at the Minneapolis Marriott West. I believe it's in St. Louis Park. It's west of Minneapolis, about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. Alrighty, I will see you guys on Facebook and YouTube. Alright, love ya, bye.